Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my first episode of Elder Scroll Online. I'm going to be doing a kind of playthrough stroke tutorial. One, because I feel like doing one, and two, to help you guys out there that may be struggling in certain areas, not quite sure what to do with certain things, or maybe you haven't actually realised what you can do. It's a game of discovery. A lot of these types of games are all sort of games of discovery, and a lot of it you have to find out for yourself, alternatively find out from someone else. You can play this game for days and days and weeks, and then realise, oh god, I haven't done a certain thing, which has happened to me. So that's why I'm going to be doing this. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to be perfect, because no one's perfect. But I have learnt a lot over the last couple of weeks of playing, so hopefully you guys and girls will pick up some tips and tricks. And obviously, if I miss something out, or if you know something better than what I'm doing, then feel free to let me know. Leave your comments below. Quick background about myself: I am a personal trainer and health and nutrition specialist. I've got my own little company. Feel free to head over there, www.24hblfitclub.com. That'll give you a little bit more information about myself. So yeah, if you're looking to improve your health and fitness, or if you know someone that is, then either let me know or pass them to me, and that'll be much appreciated. However, we are here for the games, so let's get into some Elder Scroll Online. So here we are on the character creation screen. What we've got is 4 little selections up here where we can choose our race, our class, our body type and our face, or we can adjust our body type and our face. Character name is most MMOs have. Choose to be male or female. We've got 3 alliances we can be part of, and then there's 10 races to choose from. Now, I've got the Imperial Edition, so I do get the choice of everything, as far as I can be any race, I can be any class. I'm not 100% sure if the normal edition has this option or not, so if anyone has got the normal edition, not the Imperial Edition, feel free to leave a comment below as to whether you get the same options as me. I'd be intrigued to know whether paying the extra £20 that I did was actually worth it or not. I mean, there are a few in-game items that we get that the normal edition doesn't get, but I'd be just intrigued to see whether you can choose to be any race and choose to be any class. So yeah, so I'm going to be making a healer class. Good thing about this game is you can, as far as I'm aware, for the normal edition as well, any race can heal, can tank, and can DPS, as can any class. Each class will have 3 skill lines. Each race has a race skill line, and they will predominantly have a DPS. Some will have a tanking style skill line, and some will have a healing style skill line. I haven't played every single race yet, but a couple of them don't specifically have a healing skill line. However, whatever race or whatever class you play, you can choose any weapon. So you can have a sword and shield, you can have two-handed weapons, you can have 2 daggers or 2 swords, for example, and you can have a selection of staffs, 3 types of destruction staff and 1 restoration staff, and a bow. So essentially you could be, for example, a Breton sorcerer tank with a sword and shield. You could be a Templar high elf, or sorry, let's go for an orc, because that's pretty much, where are you, orky? There you go. there we are. Healer. Although yes, it might look like he wants to be a tank kind of character, he can be anything, so good choices here. I'm going to be making a healer class, like I said, so I'm going to be using a race that has some bonuses and passive skills, racial skills, that's going to help me in that department. And I'm also going to be choosing a class that has a specific healing tree or skill line. However, because obviously I need to be able to do damage as well, I'm not just going to run around healing everyone, because I'll never be able to get anywhere. I'm going to be using a destructive or destruction staff for my damage dealing, and I'll come into that in a little bit more detail. So, excuse me, hiccups. I'm going to be doing 30 to 45 minute episodes, just to keep it nice and sweet, and trying to put them into logical snippets. So if people have done something and they're quite happy with that, then they can skip to something else, and I'll try and title them so that it helps people search for what they're looking for as well. So this first one is going to be create my character, loading into the start of the prison, the Wailing prison, and talking through the different things that we've got as far as like skills, abilities, all that sort of stuff, just to give you a bit of an overview. I'll call that an end at that episode, and then I will then start the next episode actually getting into the meat of the game. So as I said, I'm going to be making a healer class. I'm going to be going for an Argonian, and the reason why I'm choosing Argonian, this funky looking lizard dude, is because the racial skills of the Argonian reflect their people's perilous swamp environment, giving them bonuses to healing, restoration and poison resistance. So this is going to be ideal because I'm going to be getting these bonuses for healing, which is what I want kind of mid to end game when I'm running around in a group doing dungeon stuff. Character name, let me think. My nickname is Roxy, Rox, LaRoxy, whichever you want to call it, but generally all of my characters will have the word Rox in it. I like to play a male character. Nothing against people or guys that play female characters, but personally I find it a little bit strange that you would want to roleplay as a female. So like I say, no offence to you guys, but me personally, I want to run around on a male character. I'm a male. I don't like playing a female. I like playing with females, but not being a female. So I'm going to go for, because he's a bit of a lizardy type character, Roxilian. I'm going to give him a bit of a Argonian lore type of name in there as well. I'm going to call him, I'll give him a surname of Tibius. So for those of you any of you that are into the lore in games and stuff like that, is in lore, L-O-R-E, not the law, the police law, you'll get that. For those that don't, then obviously it means nothing to you. So like I say, I'm going to be playing a male character, just because that's me. I'm going to be playing Daggerfall Covenant in this series of ESO. I will be doing future ones where I'm going to play through the other alliances, but for now I'm going to just be sticking with Daggerfall. The race that I'm going to be choosing, as I've mentioned, is going to be Argonian for the bonuses. Feel free to have a look at them. Spend a little bit of time looking at what they do, and if you're unsure, go on to Google and Google something along the lines of skill builder or something like that, ESO skill trees and stuff, and have a look at what all of the racial bonuses and passive skills and that you get, and spend a little bit of time. I mean, you don't have to do it on your first character. First character, you can just get into game and see what it's all about. But have a look, even quickly make a character, just a random name, make a character, with the different classes to see what all of the bonuses you get, and then choose what you're going to do from there, so that when you make your main character that you're going to do, whether he's going to be a tank, whether he's going to be a healer, whether he's going to DPS, maybe he's going to be a bit of a mixture, which obviously you can do. You don't have to be boxed into one category. You can be a mixture of tank, healing and DPS really. But yeah, have a good sort of look into what you're going to do before you go spending days and days and days, maybe weeks in the game, and then going, well, actually, I've picked a character, I want to be a healer, but his bonuses are to running around with a bow that I'm never going to use. Okay, right, so that's that. Let's move into the class. There are 4 class types: Dragon Knight, Sorcerer, Nightblade and Templar. Now, from what I've gathered, Dragon Knight is kind of more suited towards tanking, Sorcerer DPS, but obviously you can do healing as well. Nightblade is kind of like your stealthy characters, like rogues and stuff like that. And then Templar is more for healing. And if you have a look at the Templar, the Traveller Knights call upon the powers of light and the burning sun to deal massive damage to their enemies while restoring health, magicka and stamina to their allies. So obviously, along with the Argonian bonuses to healing and restoration, and the Templar bonuses to restoring health and magicka and stamina to the allies, this combination for a healer is really good. And then all I do is I choose a damage weapon for doing damage. Now, I have been and ahhing about this while I've been playing other characters, thinking about doing this, and for the last hour before I started actually recording, what type of weapon I actually want to go for, because with the skills which I'll show you later on, they predominantly use magicka. We've got basically 2 pools for the damage style or the damage type, depending on what we're using. For example, a staff that's using the abilities on it will use magicka. Casting's going to use magicka. Using a sword or using a bow is going to use stamina. So we've essentially got 2 pools that we can use to attack with or heal with. Now, if you choose a class that is going to be using magicka, skill lines that's using magicka, and a weapon that's using magicka, then essentially you're going to box yourself into a corner where the fact that you've only got 1 pool for doing everything, kind of a redundant pool because there's nothing to do on that. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether that's such a good thing. I was thinking about using a destruction staff with this character, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm going to think about that while I'm going through. There's no need to make my decision just yet. But yeah, essentially that's what I'm going to be going for. So Templar Argonian. Let's have a quick look at the body. I generally make all of my characters muscly, tall, big torso size, big chest. I would probably do that for the females too. He's going to be thin, big arms. I'm not too worried about hand size, hip size. That's your butt. Give him some big meaty legs. So when you look at him with no gear on, he's a bit of a workout guy. So yeah, this is what I want my clients to be looking like, obviously without the tail and the horns and the freaky looking face. But yeah, veteran gear, you can have a look at what they look like in vet gear. Looks pretty cool. That is obviously the Argonian style armour, and that's a novice. Just out of just for a little bit of curiosity for anyone that is looking, or thinking about making a crafter. When you make a crafter, there are a number of different styles that you can make. Obviously there's all these styles, plus there's some rare ancient styles in game. Now you can only make one style when you start in the game, and that's your race. So for example, I got Argonian can make this style, a Breton can make that style, high elf, and so on. To make all the other styles, you have to find the books to make that style or buy them from someone else. They vary in game, obviously depending on what server you're playing on, and who's selling them at the time. They vary from anything from 500 up to 2000 gold for the normal races, and the rarer ones will go for a little bit more. So yeah, these are all the different styles of armour. That is pretty mean looking, isn't it? That's quite funky. So yeah, if you're just wanting to make oh look at that, that's kind of cool. If you're just wanting to make a crafter, and you're not too bothered about what class you're going to be, you know, any class can be a damage dealer. It doesn't really matter. But if you're wanting to make an armor smith, I would be tempted to find an armor that you like. I mean, this is all obviously heavy armor. If you wanted to look at light armor, again we've got all of these. Sorry, I know I'm kind of going off track here, but I've not actually done this before, and I just want to have a quick flick through. That's kind of cool. Mean looking orcs again. So this is the light armor. It looks an Arab. The cat dude, Kajik. And that one should be medium, I would have thought. Yep. Now the female armor is just the same. Oh, look at that. Yeah, the female armor is just the same, just obviously in a female style. Yeah, the orcs are mean, man. Anyway, right, so I'm going to be, what was going to be, Argonian, Templar. Roxilian Tibius. I've done my body type, I think, didn't I? Yep, so that's all done and saved. Hairstyle. Does he have it? Oh, I see. We'll stick with the two funky horns there. Alrighty, so let's make him more heroic. A dormant, for those that are wondering, is your age, making him elf. It's like beard, sorry, not age. That's your age. Make him more aged. Yeah, a dormant is like beard, moustache kind of thing. Righty, right, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not too worried about spending hours and hours on what it looks like for this. If it was like a human-like character, I would probably spend a bit more time. But I'm happy with that. So that's my character done. So hopefully no one's taken the name Roxilian Tibius. You got an option here to play through or skip. If you skip, you end up in Daggerfall, which you'll come across later on. You miss a big chunk of the starting content out, which I'm going to play through and explain why you don't want to skip through. Especially if you've never played the game before, you don't want to skip through, which most of you will obviously appreciate. But those of you that have played through with one character and then decide to play another character and skip, have a good think about it before you do, and I'll explain that in the next episode. So here we are logging in to the game. The Wailing Prison. When you unlock weapon swapping at level 15, you can decide to place the same type of weapon in both slots but select different abilities for your ability bar. I'll come into that when we get to level 15. Right, excuse that little error there. That is my one of my add-ons. I'll come on to add-ons. I'll come on to add-ons in the next episode. Should I? Oh, matter of fact, no. I'll do it in this episode. I'll do it at the end of this episode. For those of you that are interested in add-ons, okay, and just explain what I do, and I'll do that as quickly as I can. So you can obviously skip through that if you don't intend on using any add-ons. Right, so this is the character. It's normal WASD to move your character around, and mouse look to see where you are. Jump or spacebar for jumping, and if you double tap a direction, then you do a kind of roll, and that's actually dodge, and it uses up your stamina. So let's go through the different things. So character sheet. If you got the tutorial on, it'll give you a little bit of a tutorial thing. So character stats, plus spend available attribute points to increase your effectiveness in combat. Health increases your survivability. Magicka increases your effectiveness with spells, and stamina increases your effectiveness with feats. Essentially sort and stuff like that. Press E to commit points. So what we've got here is, this is me, Roxilian Tibius, Argonian Templar. Our attribute points is 0. When I gain an attribute point, which is generally from levelling up, then there'll be a plus and minus sign next to each of these zeros here, where I can obviously increase, or if I've increased it and then I want to put it back down again before committing, then I press the minus sign. This is my Magicka health and stamina, what they're currently on. The recovery, that's basically obviously how quickly it regenerates in a 2-second period. My spell damage, critical and resistance, and my weapon damage. Now obviously I've got a bonus of 6 and 120 to them. Every character I'm going to hazard a guess is going to be slightly different. I've never actually looked at this properly. When we get a mount, it'll show it in there, and any buffs like food, drink, all those sorts of things will be in here as well. So that's my character sheet, and obviously when we level up, I will show you how that works. That was with pressing the C button for character. Next we've got K, which is going to bring our skills up. Character skills. There are many different ways to customise your character's combat style. Browse the different skill lines, mouse over the ability to learn what they do, press plus to purchase that ability for use. Now, for those that have played other MMOs and you're kind of limited to what you can do, oh my lord, you are going to be amazed and excited with what you can actually do in this game, because essentially you can do anything. Like I mentioned earlier, you can be a tank, healer, DPS with any type of weapon, whatever you want to do. Obviously you're going to be limited to what class and race you've chosen, because they're going to have their own specific skill lines, and this is what I'm going to quickly go through now. So this is the skill points. This is the skill points I've got available to spend. Sky shards, you can find sky shards throughout the whole of Tamriel, so keep your eyes open for them. When you find 3, it will then give you a skill point and reset back to 0 or 3 again. So you need to go looking for these babies, because if you don't, you're going to be missing out on potential skill points you can be adding. In fact, let's talk through this first, sorry. This is your class, so each class has got 3 skill lines, and in each of those skill lines you've got an ultimate, you've got 5 active abilities, and then you've got 4 passive abilities. As you can see, they've all got, or most of them have got a little padlock on, apart from the first active ability, and that's just to say that they unlock at a certain level. So I'm going to use, I'll use the first one to explain. The other 2 are exactly the same. The ultimate ability you get when you get to Aedric Spear rank 12. So this is my Aedric Spear level, and as you can see it says Aedric Spear 0 or 7. So when I level that up, it'll go to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5, blah blah blah, all the way up to rank 12. Now that is the rank of the skill, not my player level. Player level is separate, okay? So that is a special ability which will go down in the R slot down here. We've then got... Right, sorry about that, I just had to pause because I had someone at the door and I didn't want to obviously leave it running, so I'm just going to quickly go back through the skills. I may go back over something. I'm not quite sure what I was talking because I lost track of where I was, so I'm just going to quickly go through this again. So we've got our skills, class, we've got 3 class lines, 2 DPS for this character and 1 restoring. I'm going to be using the restoring light skill lines for my healing, but I'm still going to be needing some DPS on here as well. The way this works for leveling up, hopefully I haven't gone through this already, but I'll go through it anyway. Adric, I'm going to use the Adric Spear, the rest of them I'll briefly go through. So the Adric Spear, we've got an ultimate ability which unlocks at rank 12. This is the rank of our Adric Spear line, and that levels up by having one of these skills or more, multiple on the bar. The more you have, the quicker this levels up, and as you see there, improve the skill by earning experience points, equip additional Adric Spear spells to increase the skill's advancements. So if you don't have any on there, it won't level up. The more you have on there, the quicker it level up. You've got 5 active abilities which can go on any of these slots. You don't have to unlock all of them, you don't have to train all of them, you don't have to use all of them, but you will want to use a selection of them if you want to level them up. If you don't have any on, you're not going to be able to unlock. This one's all ready to go, so I just need 1 skill point, which I'll gain at some point in the game. That one's at rank 4, 20 and so on. Our passive abilities, these ones here, and you'll get, you know, a number of them, 4, 5, whatever. These unlock as well. You need to use a skill point to add on there, but this one, for example, unlocks at rank 8. So that's that one. So we've got 2 for this class. It's got 2 DPS and 1 restoration. So that's the class skills. We've then got our weapons, and they work in a similar way, although you don't get a ultimate or a special skill that goes down there that you do in the class. So it's same up here. Improve the skill by earning XP with, on this one, 2-handed feats and a 2-handed weapon equipped. So essentially, equip yourself with a 2-handed weapon, do damage with a 2-handed weapon, you get experience points here. So this is quite quick to level up. And equipping 2-handed skills on here will level it up quicker. So with weapons, these use, if you're just swinging and punching them without using any special attacks, they will not use stamina or magicka, but you'll still level it up. These, however, require either stamina or magicka. 2-handed, all of these ones here, except the last 2, destruction and restoration stuff, they all use stamina, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I mean, bows all stamina, dual wield all stamina. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much correct on that one. And it does say when you cursor over it, cast time, target how it is. This one's a cone, radius, and the cost. This one's 42 stamina, for example, whereas destruction, that one's 49 magicka. Okay. So that's the different weapon types. We've also got destruction's got 3 types of destruction. We've got fire, ice and lightning, and the skills will reflect that. For example, this skill here, if you use a fire staff, it will cause a knockback. If you're using a ice staff, it will cause deep freeze, which freezes them on the spot. If you use a shock or lightning staff, it causes shock, which causes disorientation. There's other skills that do other things. Fire is obviously going to burn things, ice is generally going to freeze things, and lightning is going to shock things. And your restoration staff is your healing. So essentially, I could have all restoration like skills using a restoration staff and just be a pure healer, but then I would never be able to kill anything because I wouldn't have any skills other than my staff ability of just zapping people without using any magicka, which would kind of suck it a little bit. So that's all the weapons. Armour, we can wear any type of armour. You can wear all of it, or you can wear a mixture. You're not limited to what type of armour you wear, but as with any other game, there's going to be bonuses to what type of armour you wear. Now, most games I've played, and that's like I think every game I've played, light armour is generally towards casters, medium armour is generally towards your roguey type characters, and heavy armour is generally towards your big tanky and in your face DPS, sword and shield type characters. So and this is no different. That's what will generally happen. The only difference really is, well, not even a difference, but what you need to think about is the bonuses you get. If you're going to be a sorcerer caster zapping people from a distance using lots of magicka, there's no point in going for heavy armour, because this is all bonuses to health regeneration and blocking and stuff like that. Light armour is going to give you bonuses to magicka and magicka regeneration and damage with spells. So if you're going to be a caster, you want to be using light armour. If you're going to be like a bow or a sneaky type character that using lots of stamina skills, then you want to be wearing medium armour. And then if you're going to be a tanky type characters or melee DPS, sword type characters, then you want your heavy armour, so you can take a good beating. Then we've got our race. Every race has got passive abilities. There's nothing that will go down here. They're all passive abilities, and obviously I chose Argonian because it's got increases experience gain with restoration skill line by 15%, increased swimming speed, which that doesn't really make much difference, increases maximum health by 1% and poison. That's going to help, and increase healing received. So obviously if I'm taking damage, I want to be able to heal, but that's the main one. Increase experience gain with restoration skills, so that's going to mean my restoration skills are going to level up quicker, so I can get the higher level skills on there. And then finally we've got our crafting. Again, you can pick any of these, you can pick a selection, you can do all of them, but they do require skill points. Unless you're going to make a crafter, then don't even worry about this. But if you are going to make a crafter, something that's a good skill to get is Keen Eye. This will help you to see the resources easier. The only one that doesn't have that is provisioning, because you find all of the stuff for provisioning or chef cooking in bags and stuff like that, which I'll go through later on. So that's all of your skills. Hopefully I've gone through that in enough detail. Now I was going to go through, I'm not sure whether I missed this a little bit out, I was going to go through add-ons, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end this series now, because I'm not sure how long I've been going for, because I paused it and then restarted it again, which you wouldn't have noticed. So I'm going to end this series here, and then I'm going to start the next series with quickly going through add-ons, the add-ons that I use and why I use them, where to get them from, how to do the settings, and then I'll call it an end on that one. So that'll be quite a short series, and then we'll get into the meat of the game. So if you're not interested in add-ons, or you're not really too bothered, or you're happy with add-ons and what ones you're going to use, then you could just skip through to episode 3. But for now, I'm going to leave you with a little tune from my loot. and this is Roxy signing out, and I shall catch you in episode 2 where I'm going to be going through add-ons.